Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today. 212. Video 185 out of 319. There is space made for gratitude. And when the self no longer gives submission to the emotionally undeveloped ego dramas of the world, it can then learn to transcend and from the hardwiring of over-romanticized emotional trauma. With metacognition, the presence and comprehension to sense of self, its thought process from choice, and to be able to create a new story for itself is made possible. And today's excerpt from pages 557 and 58 as we have already started from the TheSovereignLight, named after my ministry, a course in metaphysical spirituality. And my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis. In this segment, it is true that energy is neither lost or gained, but through this metaphysical, as we speak, alchemy. In other words, alchemy is another way of transmuting, just releasing that energy. When that energy is released from one, let's say a solid, and perhaps transmuted into fluid, liquid, and then vapor, when that energy is released, a transcendence occurs. And these are the stages, the phases for anything that we wish to enlighten and morph and shift, even possibly our perspective. And many variations of looking at this. When the energy is released, a transcendence happens, a transfiguration. This transmutation creates and then transforms again into something else. Or could it be back into the oneness and just clearing if it's the emotional body? And then you get more energy that you can use up for something else. And as we go on today, as always, take a few deep breaths in, find a comfortable position that you might center, find that place of congregation within the heart, and all the way deep breaths back into where the spine might go, and connect right to your spine and skeletal system and your bones, all the way down, connect it to your pelvis area, root chakra, your tailbone, your knees, your ankles, and right through to the soles of your feet, and anchor through the heart space. Take a few deep breaths in and out, and you can opt to have your eyes closed or open to the relevance of the background and what it is that I am going to say. And I'd like to hear you repeat these words that come together to form this confirmation that supports you and guides you throughout the day to see and perceive through this perspective, and practice saying this out loud or in your thoughts, and or be echoed, that I may hear you say it as I do. And once again, repeat these words until they find a place that integrate and grasp this meaning, that you may absorb and infuse into your DNA genetic level and your field, and just breathe this in and share with every breath this connection through my screen to yours. And whenever you're ready, you can be sitting down or standing, like always, with shoulder width apart at your feet. As long as you have your back straight, so that you may breathe in the way that you may become accepting in a suggestible state. You can call it an alpha, a theta. It all depends on the way you're breathing. Just get into that zone. And let's do it now. Are you ready? Are you with me? Sounds good. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence. And it is a bit of a contradiction that you may see this background and the many divisions of the self. And so you can, to close your eyes from after looking at this, and say these words so that it may empower you some more in recognizing the duality, the difference, the paradox of it all. So, to be different from the whole is not to be separate from its oneness. Everything that is with soul is different and from the same consciousness to observe and conceptualize its existence and knowing. Different species with different modes to interpret from themselves an experience of the universe that is unknowable to the self, and in a sense that it can only guess to know slightly what it would be like to put yourself in each and every living being and sentient being, and look and experience through their interpretation from their senses and how they see the world. The exchange of consciousness can only really be understood and made possible through the heart, with love, here and now. The presence of the self in this awareness to consciousness is personal in its experience, but also can be transferable in this way to form relationships and bonds with other creations. Within the center of every individuation is the oneness to all things. In the same physical body as the self exist trillions of cells to make up for it. The self is not a single entity, rather a community made up of other living entities called cells. Every function that is present in every single cell has the potential in its process of regeneration and to be made from every other cell the same. It contains within it the same system the body requires to run on. To understand one cell individually is to understand them all. To be aware is to be present, and today the practice is just that. No matter how many separations of the self try to take away and give to that attention. What is the intent that separates the self into other in the many? The takeaways, the many chatters of the mind. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence. It's almost like the background of this beautiful art, this creation, has come to life. And to explore what God is, find the depth in consciousness, and that volition through thoughts, perception, and emotions. In the requirement for this evolution and to this awareness of the self, beingness. And just take a few deep breaths in and really absorb this. Let it sink in. And go beyond the chatter and of the mind that wants to take away and pull you off your center, this magnetism that welcomes you home. Go beyond the intellect that questions the cellular memory and of the integrity to its wholeness. The disruption of the world and situations from the many that require today the self-discipline, and from previous teachings as prerequisites for this ability to master. Perfect timing. So, yes, the disruption of the world and situations from the many that require today the self-discipline and from previous teachings as prerequisites for this ability to master is exactly what's going on right now in my environment that I may experience. And I hope that you also can share this experience along with me. Today, set the intention to tell a new story and that of higher intelligence. Before reacting, pause and observe the action before it is taken. Set a momentum to override such unnecessary responsibility, and with this presence, peace will become the outcome for the mind. Then, at the end of the day, take a moment to observe the self without forming any judgments. And in the silence, find the peace. The purpose for today is to find the center of the self in all things of oneness and wholeness. Be the silence and witness with compassion. For today, all the chatter, all the noise, all the takeaways, and in its chaos, find the peace. Find that still point. And today's a very special day. For those who have purchased this package, that is the audio-visual version, every 13 days, 2 days are taken to recalibrate, make notes, and review. And every 6 days, 1 day. But today, after 13 days, we are going to take only one as an experiment and to experience exactly if there is any difference between taking 2 days or 1 day, and just continue on. And then we're lending the other day that we are splitting from today rather than having 2 into the very last 319 video, the very last 365th day, that you may take that day for the 6 days and share that as recalibrating, taking a moment to review and make notes from the 46-week and 6-day course. It, rather than making it a 47, it was designed in this way, and for those people who have purchased the novel, the book, might have taken notice, and if they haven't, so be it, that you can notice, oh dear, only 47 days of review, that no, the last day that makes it 48 is now at the very end of this novel, after the 319 video or lesson. And so this is 1 day, and congratulations for making it through the 185th lesson and this video. And for those who are on Patreon and are on subscription memberships, you can also, when you go through this video, that I haven't added each and every time to say you know, congratulations, and every 6 days it breaks up into 1, and every 2 after 13. Perhaps you might have noticed by now and questioned to why, how is it 365-day program? So now you know. And these breakups that do lessons from every 6 days for a day and every other week of 13 for 2. Today is this one special day that has been split in order to make it happen. Otherwise, it would become 366. So this is a detail that may be overlooked and really doesn't matter. As we continue on, I hope to see you, and in the few other lessons to come. Stay tuned. There is much more to come, and I've really enjoyed this day, and I look forward to seeing you again for day 214, video 186, and I will leave you with today these words that may reverberate through your thoughts over and over throughout the day. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence. And slowly start to come around and blink your eyes open if you haven't done so already. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence.
Stay there for a bit. Okay. Friends with benefits, but not likes.
And go on about your day. Whatever engagement that you set off in for your intentions that you might achieve, go out and do it. And feel this confidence from these words throughout the day. My difference of awareness does not divide nor multiply from the infinite consciousness that assumes for my existence.